All right, so here we are, guys. I want to welcome you to the Teen Rockstar Entrepreneur Podcast. And this week we have a really, really special guest. I'm really excited because you guys know that I absolutely love music and believe that we should inspire youth to participate in creative outlets because without creativity, we would not have innovation. Without innovation, we wouldn't have anything that we see in this world. So we need to bring arts, creativity, music back into the system. We need to give all of these arts back to the kids so that they can further their lives ahead. So we have Darealmonday, who is actually causing a big storm right now in North Carolina. And I have a feeling that you're going to be hearing about him in every city, wherever city you're at, you're going to be listening to his name. So how are you, Darealmonday? Are we breaking
I'm
up?
fine. How you guys doing today?
Oh, we're doing good. I'm so excited to have you. Thanks for hopping on here for a little while with me. So, can you hear me? Awesome. Okay. Sometimes it breaks up a little bit, but
Sorry about that. I had to close the door.
no problem. No problem. Technical difficulty. Okay, life difficulty. So, all right, the real Monday. So, what are you up to recently? I've been listening to your song. Do you want to talk a little bit what it is that who you are and what it is that you're doing right now?
Well, right now, music that I'm making, I make a lot of. I'm very vulnerable in my music. That's a big thing for me. Um, I make music for people who might feel like they outcasted, or people who might just feel like they don't know which direction to go in life. So a lot of my music, about 95% of my music, is just based on emotional things like paying attention to how you feel and just things like that. And the main purpose of it is I know it's people out there that feel the same as that way I feel, or them been through the same things I've been through. So my main thing is just to make sure I stay vulnerable and give people something to relate to.
No, actually, I've been listening to your lyrics and I really like them a lot because, like I was saying, you speak a lot of truth. And a lot of people, they don't talk about these things. And it sucks personally because I feel like we all go through challenges and we all go through struggles. So we should be like more open to talking about them because that way we'll be able to learn from other people's experiences. So I'm glad that you're putting yourself out there and you're putting your emotions out there and you're expressing yourself through your music. Now, in your music, I hear you talk a little bit about, your childhood, your struggles. Do you want to tell me a little bit about like, what was the main things that you were dealing with and struggling with, coming up?
Coming up, dealing with things like I said before, dealing with certain things like the environment, peer pressure. I come from an environment where very poor. It's like very poverty stricken where I'm from. Like nobody don't really, have too much. So just coming up, trying to find your way through that, is a little hard. But like I said before, as far as my household, my mom always raised us, stand on our own, respect people, things like that. But what we seen on the outside was different. So, just going through things, going back and forth to jail, growing up, or having friends die at a real young age. Like, I lost my first friend at like 11, 12 years old to a murder. You know what I'm saying? So, just going through things like that. But once again, the reason I make the type of music I make, because growing up in that certain environment, it still affects me in a certain way. And that's a big part of the reason why it is the way it is. I'm going through evictions. Seeing my mama get kicked out of certain places. Um, Being hungry, not knowing when we finna eat again. Things like that. Just knowing we come from an environment where you could be the best person in the world, but once you wake up that every morning, it's gonna change you in some type of way.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not even about the morals that you believe in. You may believe in doing right by society, but when you waking up hungry every morning, that goes out the window temporarily. And that's the type of things I grew up around.
Yeah. You're so right because sometimes, when survival instinct kicks in, you sometimes do things that you normally, wouldn't do. So And once,
Yeah.
in the first place, yeah, I want to say I'm really sorry for everything that you've gone through. It sounds like it was really rough. So, how did you guys deal with it?
Yeah.
Like, how did you deal with it at home? How did your family deal with it? Like, what was it like?
Honestly, the way that we dealt with it as far as my intermediate family was prayer. We always made sure we prayed and stuck around for each other. And when I turned about 19, 24 right now. When I turned about 19, I left home and I moved in with my older sister. Passed away, and I was still in that mindset. But after a while, it started to change. Once like I began doing music, and you began finding out who you is and what you put here for, and things began to change. So that's when everything began to change when I discovered music.
Wow. And so, obviously, music changed your life, right? Was it hard getting into music? How did you find your way? How did you actually start like making it like a career? Like,
I'm sorry, repeat that question one more time for me.
yeah. So obviously music was what saved you, right? Like, so how did you get into it? How did you find your way through music? Like, how did it come into your life? And was that what changed your life?
Yeah, so I had moved in with my sister, and she was all day, so I would just be in the house by myself, trying to figure out, what to do next or what step to take next, and I couldn't figure it out. So what I started doing was I started writing poetry. It started off as just poetry, and then I found myself in the house just listening to like Nas all day, or listening to Jadakiss all day, or something like that, like some old school all day, and that turned into me writing songs. But the type of music now, it wasn't at all like that in the beginning. Like in the beginning, it just started off as freestyles. Like there was no type of melodic pitch or anything. Like it was just freestyles. And over time, I just kept it going, and kept it going. And that's like that literally changed everything. But it affected certain things too because it started making you look delusional because you're not going by the rules of society anymore. You're not going by the rules of, oh, you should get a car, you should get an apartment, you should live by the rules of society. Sometimes it might make you fall out with certain people, but it changed everything for me though, as far as how I think and how I move and things like that.
So when you say it changed everything, like you mean like it changed like relationships that you had and stuff like that? Or what do you mean what
Yeah,
changed?
it changed a lot of relationships. You know what I mean? And it even changed my interest in certain things, which is why it changed a lot of relationships. Like I might have had friends that before we ain't do anything, or we wasn't going for anything, trying to reach anything. And then when I started doing music, I found myself distancing myself from a lot of things, but not out of animosity or anything like that, but just out of me being focused. You know what I mean? And the truest saying ever is envy. Envy is one of those things ever. You know what I mean? But like I said, from day one when I started it, I've been doing it all by myself. It changed relationships. It changed mindsets. It changed environment. I've seen a lot of things that I never would have saw had I not started doing music. You know what I mean? Like, um, it changed the way I perceive myself. You know, I used to look at myself like I was just a young dude from the streets, didn't even know which direction to go. But when people see me and people call me Monday, that mean like a lot to me because I created that myself. You know what I mean? So it just changed everything. But the main thing it changed is how I think. That's the main thing it
And how
changed.
did it help you do that? Yeah, can you explain that to me? Like, what was that process? Like, how did you realize that it started changing your mind? That because I see that it created a lot of self awareness in you, and you talk a lot about mindset. So, you want to explain that a little bit to me, like how that fell and how that process worked?
Yeah, I think you picked the perfect word, which was self awareness, which was something that I didn't have prior to doing music. I thought I was just a regular dude from the hood that didn't have anything going on. Once I started doing music, it was basically like another form of meditation. I would record a song and I would say something about myself that I didn't even notice. You know what I'm saying? That I didn't even know before. And it just changed the way I think. As far as like I could look up and I haven't left the house for a week because I just been recording. Or I might look up and I done recorded 60, 70 songs in 4 days, you know what I'm saying? And what it really changed for me was my focus. It's not just music, it's focus with other things as well. Once you discipline yourself with one thing, you learn to become disciplined with way more things, you know what I'm saying? So music taught me discipline. Um it taught me music also taught me the power of words. To have strangers message me and tell me I had a song that stopped them from committing suicide, or somebody got cheated on and listened to one of my songs and it helped them through it. Like that's what it changed to me. Like before I didn't care about helping or how I did affected somebody else in a positive way. But it changed my mindset for the better. Like way, way better.
Yeah, I can see that. And actually, what you're talking about basically is like being in the service of others, because your music is actually moving people and inspiring people like to do better. Or actually, you're even helping them with their relationships, you're helping them with their personal life. And that in return gave your life direction. That's amazing. And how did you manage to stay focused? Because you had so many problems going on. You have problems in the street, problems at home. You're having problems with your friends. You're changing your life, you're changing your environment. How did you manage to stay focused? Was it
Honestly, staying focused, it was honestly one of the hardest things I ever had to do in my life. And I can't lie and say that I was focused the whole time all the way through. Like I might be consistent for 4 months and then go to jail and be locked up 3. You know what I'm saying? Or I might have been consistent 6 months and then I go through a phase of depression and I don't record a song for 2 months straight. So it's been breaks, but what helped me was staying focused, and I feel like this should go to anybody that's trying to stay focused with something. Once you realize one simple thought: if I don't do it, it won't get done. If I don't do it for myself, it won't get done. And keeping that mindset is what made me keep going. Like if I listen to everybody else telling me, oh, you 24 years old, why you still rapping? And I done had to hear that when I was 20, 22. Why you still rapping? Get a job. You know what I'm saying? Had I had listened to that, then I wouldn't be as focused. But focus, when you focus, you're gonna have to go against a lot of people. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But what mainly helped me stay focused was like I said, I come from nothing, literally nothing. A lot of people say they come from the slums. I really come from the slums. So when you think about going back to that, it's enough to make you stay focused. For me, it ain't about the money that I could get from music. It ain't about none of that. It's just about, because I don't have so many people tell me like, man, don't nobody make it from down here. So when I hear that, that's what keep me focused. But it wasn't easy. I haven't been focused all the way through. This is the longest I've been consistent, which is about the last 2 years. But it's been times where I fell off the wagon, and I might do something stupid and go to jail, or like I said, I might be depressed and not record anything. But the thing about it is, another reason I've been focused is because with my music, everything that you see, literally everything that you see under the Real Monday is from me. I have no team, I have no manager, I have no producer, I have no A&R. Self promoted. So that's another thing that kept me focused, is not even having a team. Like a lot of young artists, they can, if they okay, you could find artists right now. If they want to shoot a video and bring 15, 20 dudes to the video set, they can do it. I can't. I don't even have enough people in my circle. And that relates back to my music. I always been outcasted. You know what I'm saying? And that's enough to keep me focused right there.
wow, that's amazing. You know why? Because a lot of people are not able to find what you have found, and that's that inner drive, that inner strength. And I really believe that you got that from the self-awareness, from the writing, from just pouring your heart out. A lot of people don't know how to express themselves. They don't know how to find the right words to say, or how to deal with certain emotions. And you managed to find that
Yep.
through your music. That's amazing. But I noticed that you talk about, you had your downtimes. You've been in jail. You had a little bit of problems. What were the problems that you had, and what happened in those times, and how did you get out of it?
It's it started off as like I said, it started off as peer pressure. You might be young and you might go to school and see a group of your friends or something. And boom, I wanted to too. Even though I know my mama raised me different than y'all mamas raising y'all, I know she gonna kill me for it, but shoot, I'ma do it too. And then it goes to as you get older and feed yourself. You can't feed yourself. You gotta go to your mama. Hey mom, can I have $10 for this? Can I have $20 for that? Meanwhile, she can't even pay the light bill. So it became everybody I was around. We grew into a mindset where it's like, look, your mama don't have nothing, my mama don't have nothing, we don't have anything. So if we see someone with it, we gonna take it. And that's just what it was at the time. So all like the big drug dealers around the city and everything, not our city, but different cities, we would go and rob them or go do something stupid. But I never been a person that I've never been locked up for anything stupid. Anything I've ever got in trouble for has been mandatory for me to do in order for me or someone in my circle to eat. But I always been I never been that person though. I just did certain things because it felt like the right thing to do at the time. But there's other reasons that I've been locked up and stuff like that. Like a lot of people that know me, don't understand. But one thing I stand on is respect. So it might have been a case where I was disrespected by someone, and I'm still growing out of that right now. But sometimes when I'm disrespected, I take it to, I
Yeah,
take it up there because that's where we come from. So um but like I said, I haven't been to jail. Lately I just been focused. I've been locked in on working on finishing the album. Well, the album is finished. So what I want to do with you is a week before the album drop, I want to go live with you again, and
that
I
sounds
want to preview the album on your podcast if that's okay with you.
That sounds great. I would love to follow up with you, but I want to ask you something more before we get off, because I think it's important. So when it comes to like the peer pressure and everything that now you're doing so well, how is it that you were able to change that now? How do you feel about that? How is it that now you're able to stand on your own and you don't care, if this person is not going to be your friend, if this person's going to walk out on you? What's the difference now, the person that you are now, the real Monday now, and the kid that was before, that's able to stand up and say, you know what, I'm going to do me. I'm going to follow my dreams. What's inside you that's different now? That maybe like we can express to kids that they can find inside themselves, so that they can pursue what they want, and not listen to other people, and other people telling you, oh, you can't do this. Who do you think you are? I'm me. I got something special. I have something to give. So, like, what could you say in reference to that that would help someone else that maybe is in your place, going through a hard time, who wasn't born under the best circumstances? I think it's a little frozen. Are you there?
I think I'm still.
Okay, cool.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah, you're back. You're back. You're on.
All right. So I think the difference between the person I am now and the person I am then, and being able to not care about what people think of me or not care about peer pressure, none of that, is I think every person that's doing something, the thing look for verification from, don't need. The power is already inside of us. We powerful. We way more powerful than what we think. You know what I mean? And the only difference between now and then is I know the power that I possess. You know what I'm saying? I know how I can affect other people, and I know what I can use my energy for. Um, every person on this earth can be an influence, right? That's not the hard part. The hard part is not being an influence. The hard part is figuring out which type of influence you want to be. You know what I'm saying? So when people listen to my music, my ultimate goal with my music is okay. People can listen to turn up music all day, but we know that's fake happiness. You fake happy. The goal with my music is when you cut it on and when you listen to it, you're gonna expose your true self. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna expose how you feel. You ain't gotta hide behind that fake smile no more. You ain't gotta hide behind the turn up no more. You ain't gotta hide behind the fun no more. I feel exactly how y'all feel. So the big difference between then and now is just me knowing the power I possess. Um, Me going through self preservation, learning to take care of myself and just be cautious and be aware of what I put out into the world. Because before I didn't care. And like I said, this is one of them things where you go through everlasting battle. You're gonna have people tell you shouldn't be taking the road that you're taking. That's another difference. Before I used to listen to it. I don't listen to it no more. I know I'm taking the right road. I pray every night. I got a great relationship with God. Anytime I go down the road I'm not supposed to be on, He always cuts it off. You know what I'm saying? This is the only road that He haven't cut off yet. You know what I mean? So
Because
that's
you're
my
on the right,
biggest thing. I just know my power.
because you're
Yeah.
on the right path. That's why he hasn't cut you off. Because you're doing something good. You're doing something good for you, and you're doing something good for other people. So let me ask you one last question. What would you tell a young kid who's listening to this right now?
No,
Let's say you got an 11-year-old kid standing in front of you. Like, what advice would you give him?
the advice I give to an 11-year-old kid watching this, it might not be a stereotypical advice that you get from the average person, right? But my honest to God advice is, be you and follow what it is you love, no matter how odd the path feels, no matter how uncomfortable it feels. The main thing is when you figure out who you are, you're gonna know it. You know, when you figure out what it is you put here for, you're gonna know it. But the most important thing is once you figure it out, don't ever let anybody deter from it. And the second thing I would tell them is keep vibrations around you that match yours. You know, if you dreaming of something big or you got something big that you want to do, you can't have nobody around you that don't think as big as you, because it could really affect you. You know, just one sentence can affect your whole decision. You know what I'm saying? So my basic message to anybody is whatever it is you want to do, whether it's football, basketball, entertainment, trash, man, I don't care what it is. My main thing is just um don't never stop and be who you are no matter what anybody tells you. I don't care if it's the mayor, the president. It don't matter what nobody tell you, keep going. And that's the ultimate thing. It's about people gonna tell you you need this to reach your dream, you need that, you need this. It's not about what you got, it's about who you are and how much you're willing to stay consistent and keep going. So
Well,
just keep going. It would be my message to end.
Well, that's great advice. Actually, I couldn't have said it better myself. And you talking about vibrations and keeping the right people around you, that's very wise. And I'm glad that you mentioned it because it's true. It's true. It's all about energy and the people that you have around you. They say that you're the sum of the six people you hang around with. So you're 100% right. The people that you have around you
Yeah.
influence your life, they influence your decisions, they influence your thoughts, they influence your actions. So it's being smart about everything you do. The Real Monday, I want to thank you so much for hopping on. I really enjoyed this conversation and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with your single. And I would love to hop on with you in a couple of weeks and see how you're doing, how everything's going.
No problem. I'm definitely down with that. I appreciate you letting me onto your podcast. Believe it or not, you actually one of the first people that did this for me. So I appreciate that.
Oh, well, I'm
Yeah,
glad
I
we could do
appreciate that
it.
most
I'm
definitely.
glad.
Anytime you want me to jump on, definitely to it.
I will, and I look forward to your success. All right. Well, you have a great afternoon. All right. Bye bye.
You do the same. Make sure you stay in touch.
And everybody else,
Bye
thank you
bye.
for joining us on the Rockstar Entrepreneur Podcast. And we hope to see you on the next time when we have our next guest. Until then, be legendary. Have a great afternoon, everybody. Bye, The Real Monday. Bye, everybody. And thanks for hopping on. Bye bye. Peace.
We gone.